Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Boxt here with another Torah portion, another Parshat Shavua. We are this week in Parashat Bechukotai, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 3 through 27:34. Surprisingly, this is actually the Torah portion that I recited, or that I read from, chanted from, on May 26th, 1989. So this is actually the 35th anniversary of my bar mitzvah. I know that seems so crazy. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in my sermon this week, but really what I wanted to touch upon for this week's Torah portion video is the idea that God is saying to us, all of these things I'm going to do for you as long as you do these things for me. And what these things are for God is our following the commandments, living good lives, doing what we should, doing what we know, living by the very important rule, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. Um, Parshat Bechukotai, chapter 26, verse 21 says, Ve'im telchu imi keri, ve'lo tovu lishmoa li, V'asafti alechem makah sheva chachotetechem, v'hishachalti bachem et chayat hasadeh, v'hishkala etchem, v'hikrita et behemetchem, v'himita etchem, v'nashamu darchechem. And if you remain hostile toward me, and refuse to obey me, I will go on smiting you sevenfold for your sins. I will loose wild beasts against you, and they shall bereave you of your children and wipe out your cattle. They shall decimate you, and your roads shall be deserted. And if it goes on, and if we still remain hostile to God and don't follow God's commandments, worse and worse and worse will come. But the beginning says, Im bechukotai telechu ve'et mitzvotai tishmeru va'asitem otam. V'natati gishmechem bi'itam v'natna ha'aretz yevula ve'etz hasadeh yitain piryo. If you follow my laws and faithfully observe my commandments, I will grant your rains in their season so that the earth shall yield its produce and the trees of the field their fruit. I will grant peace in the land. You shall lie down untroubled by anyone, so on and so forth. God says that first. If we follow the laws and we do the right things, more importantly, that we live our lives based in God's teachings, beginning with ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself, God will grant us all these things. But remember, if we don't, this is what's going to happen. And then there's a section about the vows that we make to God. And it ends with Ele hamitzvot asher tziva Adonai et Moshe el bnei Yisrael behar Sinai. These are the commandments that the Eternal gave Moses for the Israelite people on Mount Sinai. And we end with Chazak, Venit Chazek, as we are ending the book of Leviticus and beginning the book of Numbers next week. We end this book of priests, the book that contains the holiness code. We end this book with a reminder and a warning. Do good, good things happen. Not do good, bad things happen. It's difficult for us as Reformed Jews to understand this idea of reward and punishment. So if someone does good things in their life, only good things happen. If they do bad things, does that mean bad things happen? What about good people who have bad things happen to them? Or bad people that have good things happen to them? I think that the basis here, the most important thing here is understanding. Do your best. Live your best life. We're going to make mistakes, absolutely. But don't dwell on those mistakes. Learn from them and move on, move forward. And if we do that, then we live peacefully. Shabbat Shalom.